You close YouTube or TikTok, or you finally press pause on that series. The screen goes dark. You blink. You shift in your chair. And instead of feeling refreshed, restored, or even remotely relaxed, you feel something hollow, not tired, not sleepy, just empty. Like your body stayed in the room, but your attention walked out the door hours ago. You thought you were resting. You told yourself you were winding down, giving your brain a break. But here is the quiet truth. You were not resting. You were overloading. And this is not a moral failing. This is not about weak willpower. This is about how your nervous system actually works. This is about what happens when you flood a biological organ designed for slow recovery with a relentless, algorithmically optimized stream of novelty. Let us start by untangling the most common illusion we live with. We confuse rest with distraction. Real rest lowers cognitive load. It allows the brain to shift into what neuroscientists call the default mode network. That is the state where memories consolidate, where scattered experiences connect into meaning, where you process emotions without forcing them, where ideas form in the background while you are supposedly doing nothing. Distraction does the exact opposite. It keeps the brain in a state of continuous microprocessing. Every swipe, every thumbnail, every sudden jump cut, every transition between tabs, every notification banner. Each one is a tiny decision. Your brain does not care that it feels passive. It registers an incoming signal. It prepares a response. It adjusts focus. It weighs whether to engage or skip. And it does this hundreds of times in a row. You are not giving your mind a break. You are asking it to run a marathon while sitting completely still. The body is relaxed, but the attention system is sprinting. That is why you feel drained instead of restored. That is why 2 hours of scrolling leaves you more exhausted than an hour of actual work. Your nervous system does not distinguish between productive stress and entertainment stress when both require constant orientation and rapid switching. You end with elevated cortisol and fragmented attention. Modern entertainment is not designed to relax you. It is designed to capture you. Every platform optimizes for retention, and retention is won through pacing. A 15-second clip delivers a hook, a conflict, a payoff, and a reset before you can even finish processing. A streaming service autoplays the next episode before you can decide. A feed refreshes the moment you reach the bottom, removing the natural stopping point that would allow you to step away. Reality does not work like that. Real life has no jump cuts, no background score to tell you how to feel, no algorithm curating events. Real life is uneven. It has long stretches of quiet, repetitive tasks, awkward silences, and slow progress. When your brain is trained on hyperpacing, it begins to interpret normal rhythm as understimulation. You sit to read a book, and your eyes drift after 3 pages. You try to have a long conversation, and your mind wanders. You step outside for a walk and feel restless because nothing is happening fast enough. Nothing is wrong with you. Your baseline for stimulation has simply shifted upward. You calibrated your nervous system to expect peaks every few seconds. When those peaks disappear, normal life feels flat. Not because it lacks value, but because your brain stopped recognizing low-frequency signals as meaningful. You did not lose depth. You lost your tolerance for stillness. Let us talk about dopamine. It is probably the most misunderstood chemical. Dopamine is not the molecule of pleasure. It is the molecule of anticipation. It is the signal that says, pay attention, move toward it. Content custom-built for triggers gives that signal without action. You just sit there, you scroll, you watch. Zero effort, zero risk, zero waiting. The brain is an adaptation machine. When it receives consistent, high-intensity signals without action, it protects itself by dialing down sensitivity. Receptors become less responsive. Thresholds rise. You need more to feel the same thing. This is physiological tolerance. It works exactly like caffeine, like sugar, like loud music. At first, a moderate dose feels intense. Over time, you turn the volume up. You refresh more often. You seek sharper edits and more dramatic reveals. And slowly, quietly, the things that used to satisfy you begin to feel insufficient. A completed project does not give you the same buzz. A walk in nature feels dull. Learning a skill feels frustratingly slow. Connecting feels awkward because it requires patience. Numbness masquerades as boredom. This is where ambition quietly disappears. Not with a bang, but with a sigh. You still know what you want. You still have ideas. You remember the version of yourself who was excited to build something. But when you sit to actually do it, something blocks you. Not laziness, friction. Complex goals require things that overstimulation actively erodes. The ability to tolerate discomfort without escaping. The capacity to delay reward without losing motivation. The skill to sustain attention without external reinforcement. Slow progress feels like failure. The quiet middle of any meaningful endeavor feels like emptiness. You do not lose your drive. You lose your tolerance for the gap between starting and arriving. And that gap is where everything valuable happens. Writing, fitness, learning, building a business. None offer immediate validation. You listen to the whisper to go back to what is predictable. Not because you are weak, but because your brain is optimizing for the path of least resistance. The more you avoid micro-friction in entertainment, the more macro-friction you feel in reality. Faster switching makes focus harder. Ambition does not vanish. It gets buried under overstimulation. Digging it out does not require punishment. It requires recalibration. So let us move past diagnosis and into protocol. I am not going to tell you to delete everything. What works is gradual and intentional. You are retraining attention. The first step is simple observation. For 3 days, do not change your habits. Just track them. Every time you reach for your phone or open a video, make a mental note. Do not judge yourself. Collect data. You will start to see patterns. You will notice the exact moments your hand moves automatically. After a difficult email, when you are alone, before sleep, during transitions. Awareness breaks the autopilot. You cannot change what you do not see, and most of this behavior happens in the blind spot. Once you see the pattern, introduce structured quiet. Not meditation, just removing the input. 10 minutes a day of walking without headphones, sitting by a window without a screen, washing dishes without a podcast, driving in silence. The goal is not Zen, it is space. At first, your mind will resist. It will feel restless, bored, even anxious. That is normal. That is the withdrawal from constant orientation. Stay with it. Do not fill the gap. Let your brain learn that it can survive without constant refresh. After a week, extend it to 20 minutes. You will notice something subtle. The edges of your thoughts begin to soften. The urge to check fades. Real life starts to feel slightly more textured again. This is not magic. It is receptor recovery. Your sensitivity is returning because you stopped flooding it. Next, design friction. Make consumption slightly harder. Not to punish yourself, but to create a pause. Move apps off your home screen. Turn off non-essential notifications. Put your phone in another room for 1 hour a day. Leave it face down when you work or eat. Those extra 2 or 3 seconds are critical. They are the gap where your prefrontal cortex can catch up and ask a simple question. Do I actually want this? Or is this just muscle memory? Most of the time, the answer is no. That moment of hesitation is where control returns. You are not trying to eliminate entertainment. You are trying to make it intentional. When consumption becomes a choice instead of a reflex, it loses its grip on your attention. Then recalibrate how you experience reward. Stop waiting for the process to feel exciting. Start anchoring satisfaction to completion. Keep a simple log of finished things, not goals, actual completed actions. Read 10 pages, wrote one paragraph, cleaned one shelf, had one honest conversation, logged it, acknowledged it. Your brain learns through repetition. If you consistently pair effort with recognition, it begins to rebuild the connection between work and reward. Dopamine does not disappear. It just needs a new map. You are teaching it that delayed outcomes are valuable, that slow progress is still progress, consistent and meaningful. Finally, consider a 72-hour reset, not once a month, maybe once a quarter. This is not a detox. It is a system restart. Use your device only for essential communication and practical tasks. No algorithmic feeds, no background streaming, no autoplay. You will feel it by day 2. Restlessness, boredom, maybe irritability. Do not fight it. Observe it. This is your nervous system recalibrating its baseline. By day 3, something shifts. Colors look sharper. Conversations feel deeper. Food tastes more distinct. Time moves slower, but in a good way. Complex tasks feel less intimidating because the noise is gone. You remember what it feels like to be bored, and you realize boredom is not the enemy. It is the breeding ground for intention. You start generating your own direction. None of this requires perfection. It requires consistency. You will slip. You will binge. You will catch yourself mindlessly scrolling after promising you would stop. That does not mean you failed. It means you are human, retraining a deeply ingrained pattern. The moment you notice, it weakens. Every time you choose quiet over noise, you strengthen a different neural pathway. Every time you sit with discomfort instead of escaping it, you expand your capacity for depth. You are not broken. You are adapted to an environment designed to keep you engaged. And adaptation can be reversed. It takes patience. It takes awareness. It takes the courage to sit with the very emptiness you have been trying to outrun. Your life is not boring. Your brain is just exhausted from screaming. Entertainment is not the enemy. Overload is. When you learn the difference, reality stops feeling flat. It becomes three-dimensional again. Not because the world changed, but because you finally gave yourself permission to feel it. So when you finish this, do not immediately jump to the next video. Just sit. Breathe. Let your attention settle. Notice what arises when nothing is being fed to you, and then decide what you will do next. Not to consume, to recover, to rebuild, to return to yourself. Share what you notice when the noise drops. Your life is waiting for you to notice it again.